Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. I got to tell you, I am loving Wednesdays now. I feel like it was always, you've got it to that midweek and you're like, okay, we're almost to Friday, but we're kind of still close to Monday. And it's kind of like that, up and down roller coaster. So I've got to say, I love Wednesdays now, just being able to have this segment of Impossible and talking to amazing vendors and just continuing to find ways to amplify and share our amazing Spousely community. So I am so excited for today's guest. It's Liz, and Liz is a Spousely vendor. She is incredibly talented. She's a military spouse. She's a designer. Liz, we're finally friends, by the way, on LinkedIn. I don't know why we weren't friends before, but you have an amazing just past of just all the incredible design work that you've done for companies too. So that is so awesome. So I can't wait to learn more about that. But yeah, all of you guys already know that this is called Impossible, and it's basically about how our amazing community is taking the impossible and turning it into I'm possible. So very excited for this opportunity. And Liz, I would love for you to tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you've turned the impossible to I'm possible.
Sure. Well, as Monica said, my name is Liz. I'm the designer behind my brand, Sketch and Sentiment. I am an Army veteran wife and a mom of two here in Cincinnati, Ohio. I do have a background in design.
By the way, which is amazing.
I heard that in last week's episode and I meant to ask you more.
Sorry, I had to stop you because it's such a small world, isn't it? I feel like
yes.
There's always some connection to Ohio for some reason. But yes, my husband and I are born and raised in Ohio. So
That's great. That's great. So yeah, I have a history in design. I got my bachelor's in fashion design here in Cincinnati and went into corporate fashion design. I was actually doing design work in Dallas when I met my husband in 2014. He was an infantry officer at Fort Hood.
Oh, awesome.
We met online and he drove 2.5 hours to meet me.
Oh my God.
So funny story, 20 minutes into the date, he got a call from his commander and said that he had to go back to post to deal with some soldier issues. Mm-hmm. So he left, and then I didn't hear from him again for 2 weeks because I didn't know this because I had no military background, but he went into the field, so he had no communication. Yep. So that was very eye-opening. Yeah, welcome to the Army.
Yep.
So, I finally was like, are you ever going to take me on a real date or like, what's going on?
Right.
So obviously he eventually made it back to Dallas. We did the long distance thing. And then 4 months into our dating relationship, he deployed. So it was a very, abrupt and eye-opening kind of peek into the military life. We got married in 2016, and at that point, I had transitioned from fashion accessory design into home goods. Okay. So I was a senior designer for home textiles company, and they just could not fathom me working remotely, which is weird because everything I did was on the computer. And of course, now we're here in 2021. We've all been working remotely for over a year.
Right.
It seems silly, but so I had to part ways with that company, and I'm the kind of personality where I always have a side hustle or like a list of 10 projects I'm doing. So I'm not the type to just sit around idle. And there weren't a lot of design opportunities in Killeen, Texas. Mm-hmm. So I decided to go freelance. While my husband was deployed, I was really big on snail mail because I knew like that would just really make his day. It gave me something to do. But I couldn't find postcards from all the places I was visiting. So I started to do illustrations of military bases, cities, colleges. And from there, it kind of turned into a business, a full-fledged illustration business.
Right.
So Sketch and Sentiment was born.
Yay, that's so awesome. And you just have been able to create just such amazing pieces, and it's all kind of, I feel like just keeps turning into more, which is so incredible because just to see your work on different products and, different items and everything. But the designing piece, I want to kind of circle back to what you said about the remote work, because that's something that, I'm so passionate about. I was one of the very lucky military spouses that was able to hold a career working remote for over 8+ years, but it still blows my mind that, more companies haven't really realized that you can work from home and you can still be
Yes.
successful. In my eyes, I feel like it helps so much more because you're able to you're cutting out a lot of that time from the commute. And I feel like
Absolutely.
a distraction too sometimes in the office. You have more conversations with those around you than you would if you're, at home at your desk, just like
Yeah.
focused and working. But anyways,
Especially for design work, I think the environment that you design in is really important. So I personally designed more and designed better when I was at home and could choose where I want to sit in bed, I want to sit at my desk, whatever, versus sitting in a sterile office environment.
Yeah, it's kind of like an author. I mean, can you imagine having somebody writing a book and being in like this environment? You kind of have to be in your element because that's when the best work happens. So
Exactly.
I am so glad that you obviously pivoted and you were able to make something work that was, providing that flexibility and stability. By the way, I know I hear, is everything okay in the background? Are you good?
Yes. Can you hear that?
No,
They woke up from nap early.
This is what's so amazing about our community. I mean, you're just such an inspiration. You are so successful. You have an amazing company and you're a mom and, this is real life. And this is why I'm so passionate about what we're doing with Spousely is just providing that flexibility and stability. And as we can hear, obviously life happens and that's the best part about it. We just kind of go along for the ride. I know you have something really exciting launching tomorrow, so I don't want to take the shine. I would love for you to tell us about your new line and just what you've been able to do to help us in terms of Spousely and just making it a team effort. So if you would love sharing about that.
Definitely. So tomorrow we're going to launch a spring collection. It is exclusively launching on Spousely. Something that is really important to me is having products in your home that mean something. So the way my business has evolved was from these military-based illustrations and kind of displaying the journey that your family has been on into, items that inspire you spiritually or just display like who you are as a person and where you're going in life. So our spring collection was inspired by Psalm 23, which says, he lets me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters and he restores my soul. We've all been in turmoil for the last year. In my family, personally, we had a baby, we moved across the country, we changed careers. It's been chaos, and I know that it has been for pretty much everybody. So I was just really inspired by the freshness of spring, the regrowth, and the idea of taking time and restoration to find your inner peace. So all the products in our line are inspired by those verses. This is our largest launch to date. Usually we'll release a few things at a time, but this time we have apparel, we have home goods, we have mugs, candles, throw blankets. This is one of them, one of my favorites. And we are just so excited to make this collection exclusive to Spousely. Monica, you've done a phenomenal job in creating a space for people to know who they are supporting, directly support military families. And like we said, those amazing and talented designers and creatives and all the services that you offer who can't do that from an office, hold a typical job because their life is constantly chaos and constantly moving. So we wanted to make this exclusive to Spousely and continue to build the community and build excitement around what you are doing with Spousely. One of my favorite quotes is that a rising tide lifts all boats. So when we support each other, then we're all going to be successful.
And that's exactly what we were just talking about, how Spousely is just such a full circle. As we continue to grow, so do our vendors. As our vendors continue to grow, so does Spousely. And it's just the beauty behind all of it and just being able to truly support one another in a new way, having that flexibility, learning from each other, being there for one another. And to me, that's been the most inspiring part about Spousely is the community and being able to just continue to grow and thrive. And I am so excited for this new collection. As I told you before, these are all the colors in my house. Obviously, got something similar
Yes,
going
it's perfect.
So I'm so excited to check everything out. And this is just an amazing opportunity, what you've put together. And I know some of our other amazing vendors have done this too, where just finding ways to help and promote Spousely and to have your products on there, because we know that, people aren't always exclusive on Spousely, but finding ways to help elevate and to help drive that traffic and support one another just means the world to me and everything that we're doing at Spousely as well. So I am forever grateful for all of you guys. And just, I feel like I always say this, I'm like, I wish I could just come through and like give you the biggest hug, because that's been the hardest part for me is, launching this company right before the pandemic hit. And then literally feeling like I'm on an island, even though we have this amazing community. Everything's been virtual, which is great. And that's, what the business is. But there's nothing better than hopefully one day being able to all just sit down in a room together and just celebrate and, enjoy everything that we've worked so hard for together. So I'm very, very thankful for you. I'm so excited. I encourage everyone to check out Liz's new line. It's going to be incredible. We'll share the link tomorrow. We'll be having a lot of different marketing materials going up. So please head over, check it out. And is there anything else you wanted to share with us today?
I believe the listings tomorrow, I'm going to turn them live at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Perfect.
So just in case anyone wants to get on right away and shop the line.
Yes, so excited. And your story is amazing. I just love everything that you're doing and really how you've turned the impossible into I'm possible. And you mentioned how your plate is always full. So I can relate to that very much. But you know what? That's what keeps us going. It keeps us moving forward and it only makes us stronger. So Liz, such an inspiration, and I appreciate everything that you're doing. And I look forward to seeing the launch tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And I look forward to seeing you again next week on Wednesday at 11 o'clock Pacific, 2 o'clock Eastern, and just help us continue to spread the word about our amazing Spousely community. Take care. Bye.